Hey YouTubers, welcome back to the holler. It's Mike again, and change. It's always happening. Constantly having to adjust to changing conditions, and that's just part of pretty much everyday life. It doesn't have to specifically be farming or homesteading or anything like that. But there's things we have to take into consideration. Now today, I'd pretty much had my entire weekend planned. Was going to. All right, so let's start off here. So this is the area where we hope the greenhouse was going to go. That was the intention of doing all that. What I did was, in order to meet the specifications for the greenhouse site, there had to be an active garden on the site. There's a previous video about that. So we tilled up the area after the excavation and everything was done. Tilled up the area and planted Swedish char in it. Or Swiss char? Yeah, Swiss char, I believe is what it was. Just to have a quote active garden, and that met the standards, met the specifications, so there we go. Now this, because we had to take several inches of topsoil off through here, we had of course a lot of clay, and at 1,200 foot elevation, yeah, that's what we're going to have, is a bunch of clay. So I tilled it with the tractor down about 4 to 6 inches, I think is what I tilled it down at, and just beat clay the whole time. And so I let it set after I did that. It's dried, it's gotten wet, it's dried, it's gotten wet. And I even put some topsoil back over top of it and tilled back into it. And that kind of helped break it up a little bit. But what I did was I took the rest of our leftover firewood from the winter, and it's all local hardwood. And I took it and I stacked it up right in the middle, and I set it on fire last night. And I let it all burn down. And then I came out here this morning and just spread it out as much as I could with a rake and everything like that. And just about the time I got done with that, the rain came. Now, originally it wasn't supposed to rain today, so I had plans of getting that done, getting all the ash spread out, was going to get grass cut up here, and was going to start taking and piling all my grass clippings on that garden site, on that tilled site. And I got a 5-ton dump trailer of horse manure I'm going to go pick up one evening this week. And then I was going to come and put that horse manure on top of that, and then some of my compost pile out there, and dump, kind of spread over top of that. And I was going to cover that all with a tarp and just let it cook, let it compost more. There's fresh ground grass clippings. I got a couple bales of old straw there I was going to throw on it too, and just kind of get it all composting in there, because probably by the time everything is said and done with, and we are able to get if we do get approved for first round funding for the greenhouse, it's going to take a couple months to get everything done. So, you know, the prospect of getting stuff planted this year, we could probably do it, but there's a lot to do in the meantime, especially if we want to do like the in-ground radiant heat to be able to grow year-round in that greenhouse. So there's still a lot of progress and a lot of process to go with that. And of course, that is considering whether we get first-round funding or not. If not, we're probably looking at August or September before they, according to them, find additional funding. So again, that was the whole purpose of that. I'm still going to cut grass when it dries up, because it rained pretty much all day. I got that done about 8 o'clock this morning before the rain come in. And so, you know, calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, zinc, copper, a lot of little micronutrients and stuff is what that wood ash will put back into that soil. Now, clay tends to have a lot of that, believe it or not, but it's kind of locked up because clay is what it is. It's all clumpy, and it doesn't allow the vegetation to get good access to it. So, you know, by amending the soil and doing that and adding compost to it and letting it compost on top of it, that's going to allow that clay to become more malleable, more permeable, and allow the roots and the plants to get better access to all those nutrients and stuff. So we're just going to amend the heck out of it. And like I said, that's not 48 feet long, where the greenhouse is going to be 22 wide by 48 feet long. You want to stay in about 16 inches from the sides. You don't want to plant right against the sides because of you know, colder weather and stuff like that. You know, they can get that a cold exposure that close to the sides of it. At least that's what I've been told. So we'll go that route. That's what we'll practice. But if I can get the whole center of that amended, that whole section right there, I mean, then, you know, we can work from there as after we get the greenhouse erected and everything, get it covered up. All right, so long drawn out explanation about garden and soil amendments and burning wood and stuff like that, and cutting grass. So anyways, I called yesterday morning to go, before I drove out there, because it's a 70, I think it's a 75-mile round trip or 72-mile round trip for me to go get the feed. where I go get it in bulk. And it's where I buy the pig feed at. And I buy the pig feed there, and it's a 14% protein content for the pigs. And I was going to get 18% non-medicated chick starter grower, and it's $16.70 a bag. But again, take into consideration, it is a 75-mile round trip. And with the cost of diesel, you know. So I called yesterday, and he didn't have 1,000 pounds. He only had 200 pounds, and it would be the 15th before he could get the 1,000 pounds in. And I'm like, I need it now. 200 pounds isn't going to get me until the 15th. I need to get that food now. So I called. There's another place. It's 15 miles away from me. It's just kind of out of the way, but it's only 15 miles away from me. It's another family-owned store, and they had this. So this is Kalmbach, and this still is considered a local because it's within 250 miles of me. It is a 20% game bird feeder, and it's got prebiotics, probiotics, enzymes, essential oils, good crumble, good balanced nutrition, but it's for game birds, and it's 20% protein. Doesn't matter that it's for game birds. I mean, honestly, chickens, somewhere down along the line, were probably a game bird before then. So this is going to give something that's going to be good not only for the feathers, but for the flavor of the meat and everything like that. And where I was going to be paying $16.70 plus tax for a 50-pound bag of 18%, I'm paying just over $18 a bag for 50% or 50 pounds with taxes. So I go from a total of, without taxes, $334 for 1,000 pounds to about $370 for 1,000 pounds. Now add tax to that, $370, you're looking about what, $22 and change. So just might as well say $300, where at $334, I'm about $360. So I'm really, in the grand scheme of things, I'm about $30 difference overall, $35 in 1,000 pounds. So I'm not going to complain about this. They ordered this. It'll be here Thursday or Friday this week. And they had 6 bags. I had enough to get until then. Now, I said before that, we had gotten our best results with 18% protein. We fed 22% protein consistently for the first 3 rounds, three batches that we did, and we got the best out of at 18%. Now, of course, with the Cornish cross, you've got two lines of Cornish cross. You got the Cobb 500 line, and then I think it's the Ross 750, if I'm not mistaken. It's Ross, but the number may be wrong. But those are 2 genetic lines of the Cornish cross, and I think the Cobb 500 is the one. It's what we had last year, and it's a stockier, more round. So daggone things are like bowling balls. So I don't know what we got this time. It doesn't really tell you, and to ask that kind of information, unless somebody who is specifically involved in that, they wouldn't probably know anyways. All right, so anyways, we're going to go with the 20% game bird feeder this time. So, and believe it or not, the 20% protein game bird is cheaper per 50 pounds, and the same brand, than the 18% non-medicated chick starter. So why not? And it turns out they have a 20% pig feed, 20% protein, which is higher than you need to feed. But if with the 20% protein, they're probably going to have less food intake, less of that because it's going to be more satiating to them because of the higher protein content and the fact that they have like pretty much unlimited forage. So even if I'm going to pay a couple dollars more per bag and get a higher protein content, 6% protein content higher, I'm still probably going to have lower costs in feed and a longer duration of the feed supply. So next time it comes time to do pig feed, I'm probably just going to go up there and get a ton of the 20% and go from there. And that covers all of my bases, because not only does that maintain my sows while they are farrowing, once they farrow, and they're producing milk and everything like that, it provides and takes care of my sows for taking care of their babies, and it also helps feed the babies to get them going along early on too with the higher protein content. So it pretty much covers all my bases. All right. So because mama needs all the calories for milking and stuff like that, the babies need all the calories and the protein for growing and everything. So higher protein content, higher nutrition density, lower feed consumption, meets all my needs. So, a little bit more up front. And I mean, honestly, if you're looking at $100 difference in a ton, you're still getting a lot more out of that. So these things, you have to weigh all these things out when it comes to this kind of stuff, because distance, time, like 75-mile round trip versus a 15 miles one way over, 15 miles back, 30-mile round trip. There's time, there's fuel, and the cost savings are probably going to equal out somewhere along the way. Plus, you're getting a higher protein content, as I am with both of these feeds, both the chick's feed and with the pig feed. So 20% game bird versus 18% chick feed starter, I'll take it. All right, now that I've rationalized all of these decisions with you guys that I've made in the last less than 24 hours, of course, I was doing some reading, and who else doesn't read about chicken breeds? So I ran across another breed of chicken that I really, really, really want to implement, or integrate into our flock that we're going to be creating. And that is going to be the mix with the Delaware broiler, the American breast, and the Niederrheimer that's coming at the end of June. There's a secret third or fourth breed I want to integrate, and I'm not going to say anything right now because I had to order eggs. I had to order fertile eggs instead of ordering the chickens, because you can't find the chickens. Like, nobody has the chickens available throughout 2023, but I was able to find fertile eggs, a dozen of them. So I'm going to kind of keep that one a little secret on the back burner here. And if I can get them within the next, I'll say by the 20th of May, and then I can get them as soon as they get here, get them in the incubators and stuff like that, 21 days in the incubator, and again, get them hatched. Within 2 weeks of them hatching, the Niederreimers will be here. So we can still get into a good range there with integrating those two breeds and raising those two breeds together, as we did with the American breast and Delaware broilers. And then there is at West Virginia University, the professor of poultry sciences down there. I had a pretty good relationship with him before when we first started with the Cornish cross. I'm going to give him a call, and because they do all this kind of stuff, I'm going to give him a call or shoot him an email and say, hey, I got these 4 breeds I want to mix. What's going to be my best route to get like the true breed that I want at the end? And the true breed is, of course, I want to get the size of the Delaware broilers with the good egg laying capability, the good marbling capability of the American breasts. They're marbling in their meat with a good egg production. And then with the Niederrheimer, of course, all 3 at this point are going to be good foragers, good dual purpose, including eggs, good body size, good foragers, good weather tolerance, heat and cold both. And the 4th one, which brings in another good, pretty much phenomenal meat quality according to everything that I read, bring in that 4th one. What would be my best practice here? Do I breed 2 together, get my offspring from that, breed with the 3rd, get my offspring with that, then breed with my 4th and get my offspring with that? Or is there another method I need to do? And to somebody who does this all the time, and somebody who this is pretty much the science that they live, I think he's probably going to give me better information, or probably a little bit more clear information than I could find on social media somewhere. But I'll take my chances anyways, because I want to do it. I want to do it right. I don't want to just end up with a barnyard mix that really has no specific quality. You know what I mean? No outstanding quality that involves all 4 breeds. But I'll keep you guys up on that. So like I said, there's a 4th mystery breed coming now. Hopefully, again, it'll be here by the 20th of May, and then 21 days incubation, and then the Niederreimers will be here at the end of June. And then, of course, we're probably looking at, a good next spring before we actually get breeding age of all of those 2, the Niederreimers and the 4th, the mystery breed. Always changing. Things always change. Plans always change. Strategies always change. As information changes, you have to adapt to it. And that's it. I'm not going to sit here and harp on it. But anyways, that's what we're dealing with. It rained. I was hoping to get grass cut today and get all this other stuff done. Didn't happen. All right, I'm taking care of chores. I got to feed the chicks, get the eggs, and then I'm done for the day. Get and stay prepared, folks. Stay free. God bless y'all.